Cole here from Games, Brains, Headbanging Life with day 23 of the lockdown list. Going mental yet? Had enough horror? You can never have enough horror. Today's recommendation comes from Amazon Prime. Truth be told, I think the next couple of weeks of the lockdown list will probably draw from Prime more than anything else, simply because we're running out of stuff to recommend on the UK Netflix streaming service. If you don't already know, Netflix doesn't exactly work hard for the horror side of their streaming platform. It's maybe, 30 movies? 40 at a push? All of them, most of them, like high-budget, cinema-esque releases. You're lucky if you get one or two every month that's added new, and even then it's stuff that I think most people have seen. I think like one of the latest ones to go on there was Child's Play, the remake of Child's Play, the film that was in theatres 6 months ago. So, as I've said many times throughout these videos, we look to Amazon Prime and the sinkhole that is Prime. It's got plenty of the big names on there as well, but it's also a place for indie creators, indie writers and directors to release their stuff. So there is a wealth of content. Not always great, and we'll probably end up having to touch upon some of the not so great ones, but we're going to try and keep it rooted in at least something that entertains, which is exactly what today's one is. Pool Party Massacre, a throwback to 80s slasher horror. Now, this is nothing new. That in itself is becoming a subgenre of horror, the 80s inspired slasher reboots almost, and this is no different in that regard. However, this is one of the better ones because it is funny. It is a horror comedy that actually is funny. Director Drew Marvick, I have to give him massive props, who's done an amazing job here stretching a very, very small budget to create something quite wonderful. It's visually pleasing. It's got a great cast who are having a blast throughout it. It's got a great payoff, fun twist, good visuals, plenty of gore as well. And as I said already, it's actually funny. You'll laugh while watching this, and you kind of get that tone straight away, as it starts off in very, very similar fashion. A woman's sunbathing at the pool boy is hot. She's trying to seduce him, but he's got headphones on, and she's saying all these seductive words, kind of cheesy ass words, and then every so often you clip back to him, and he can't hear a word she's saying because he's listening to slamming death metal in his headphones. It's silly, it's funny. And they're the first of our victims from an unknown killer who's always shot in a way that makes him look massive. And without any spoilers, he is massive. And we never see his face. That is part of the reveal at the end. The main premise of the story surrounds Blair, whose parents are going out of town, as is the case. And she's going to throw a party with her girlfriends and later on some boys who come over who just want to get laid. Again, here you'll get the level of the comedy as Blair's parents don't really care that she's having a party. What they care about is that she doesn't have what her father calls the devil's threesome. This entire load of dialogue is basically based around that. It sounds stupid, but it's not. It's delivered in such a what's the word I'm looking for? Dry way that you'll constantly laugh. Then, of course, you get the party, you get lots of inane conversations. There's a scene in the pool that goes on way too long where one guy's trying way too hard to get laid, which I think is probably the low point of the movie. If you're after some nudity here, there's plenty of it. It stars a porn actress, Alexis Adams, who, she's a porn star. So in this movie, she has no problem getting her kit off too. But then this is an 80s throwback movie, so this sort of thing works in that regards as well. And it's always in a sex scene. It's not just random either that. The killer, he just rolls through the house basically, killing and slashing his way through everyone, leading to, as I said, a pretty wild finale, a great twist in the tale, very, very entertaining, very, very funny all the way through. I don't think it's spoilers to say that the director himself has a role in this movie, and as I keep saying, it's a funny movie, and he is very, very funny. This one's on Prime. This is one I'd thoroughly recommend if you want to just be entertained by some slapstick comedy horror that's a throwback to the heydays of 80s slasher. Pool Party Massacre. You check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal, what else is life for?